So, April and Camille, I get asked this question. Why is Lost Tools a good next step after studying IEW?
That's a great question, and I also receive that often when students or parents are registering um, their child for classes. Um, First, I'd like to read a quote. It's on the back of the. This is so beat up. My teacher guide. This is actually.
Is that level two?
It is. It's level two, but I'm sure it's on level one as well. That makes sense to me. Um, but as you can see, my it's quite beat up. I've lost the covers to my level one.
Yeah.
But this is what Andrew Pudois has to say about the Lost Tools. Circe Institute's Lost Tools of Writing will nurture meaningful thinking and writing about literature, and consequently about life. For the student who has mastered IEW structure and style models and checklists, there's no better next step. And I'm in total agreement. I have been teaching IEW to elementary age students for years, my own children included, and we moved into Lost Tools somewhere around junior high. So there's a lot of what's really exciting is that preparation, that crossover that these two programs have. For example, something in Lost Tools that at first will seem unfamiliar is that we take a few weeks to write an essay, right? We take a week of invention to come up with something to say. We take another week to organize those thoughts. And then we take another week to write that essay and express those ideas well.
Mm-hmm.
IEW uses the same process. Students are going to take some time to either summarize an article, or when they get to something like the story sequence chart or inventive writing, they learn to ask themselves questions to come up with something to say, which is exactly what we do in Lost Tools. They learn to choose their ideas and put them into an outline to organize those thoughts. Lost Tools, we see that same process. And then we express those ideas well. In Lost Tools, we're teaching schemes and tropes like simile, parallelism, metaphors, assonance, alliteration. You will see the same things in IEW. They call them dress ups. So in IEW, we're using something a little different. Students learn to vary that sentence structure using clauses and sentence openers, but they're also going to learn simile in IEW. They learn parallelism. I don't know if everybody knows that. Depending on the book you choose, they call it triples. Yeah. So there's a lot of repetition and crossover with these two programs. It's really how the IEW teacher, that Lost Tools teachers presents these ideas that really clarifies the crossover in my mind.
Thanks, April.
And a question I hear a lot is that people, it looks like they're going backwards at the beginning of Lost Tools from IEW. And I think it's just because I liken it to building a skyscraper that, you know, if you look the first few weeks, that they're going the opposite direction, the beginning. Because we're built a deep foundation to build on. And then when students are prepared in IEW, like knowing all those things about dress ups and all that, then Lost Tools introduces the classical terminology for it. So you could go from IEW to learn the things to Lost Tools and learn more of them. And then the other terminology, the classical vocabulary, and then go from that to read Aristotle's rhetoric.
So that's exactly right. Because you know, in IEW, we may call the opening of the essay, you need an attention grabber. Well, that's an exordium, and actually, the exordiums we teach in, or that I teach in IEW, are the exordiums I teach in level one. So that it's a great pairing. It's a wonderful pairing. And the students, and I hear this from other teachers as well, that students who have had a year or two or even more, same with Lost Tools, of IEW are very prepared for Lost Tools. The students recognize the similarities themselves.
Right. Yeah. And then just the exordium example is interesting to me, because then we learn even more ways in level 2 to write an exordium, and then even more in level 3. So, but they get introduced to that in IEW. Yep.
Thanks.